Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are top chat goal, whatever that means. We are here for the Monday and Friday night Zoom meetings. I see something here that doesn't need to be there. Why is that on there? More settings, live stream. No. Anyway, we'll wait for some people to come in and huh, yeah. Oh, I see. That's good. So we need to go here and content and live on save. Yeah, we got to have the chat. Okay, that's there. And we'll go here. We'll turn on the automator. We got 7 people watching. Save. All right. I had a little conversation with Wendy today. I got to send him a camera. We're going to do a live stream here with Wendy. I think that'll be kind of interesting. You know, he's got his channel. He does motorcycles, and he just put out a, pretty nice video on old pictures, and he's asking for anybody if they have old pictures to send them to him. I see the real Steve Smith is trying to come in. No camera, no microphone, Steve. Let's see if we're there. Yeah, I guess he ducked out. What do we got going on here? Let's see. Good evening. Daniel Barry, Wayne Rice, and Mark. Good evening. I don't know what's up with Steve. He came in and fell out. YouTube is sometimes difficult. Let's see. We'll stretch that there. There we go. Here he comes. There you are.
Sorry, glow plug was burned out on my computer. I had to put a new one in.
Yeah. Well, nothing happening. Same stuff. I cut my hair just like yours.
Nice. Nice.
And
Did you do it yourself?
oh yeah.
Okay. That's pretty much the reason I do it. It's so save the money. I don't have to pay anybody for something this simple.
Well, I used one of them plastic forks on it, and I
Yeah.
didn't cut it as short as yours, but
I go number one. Number one. I use the black plastic guard too, but it's a number one.
mine was a number 5, I think.
Oh wow. I use a number two on this, a number one on that, and a towel to polish it too.
Yeah.
Get a good shine up there.
Well, I've had my hair that short.
Yep.
I'm just not going to sit in a barber shop for an hour while they figure out that, they can cut my hair with a 2 minutes, you're done.
Yeah.
$25.
It's been so long since I paid for one. I don't even know what they cost anymore. Is that what they're up to?
I don't know, 20 anyway.
Wow.
There's another guy that cuts his own hair.
Very.
No, I got a lady that cuts mine. So how you doing, Sparky?
I'm doing.
Doing all right.
Went out to the field yesterday, or was
Yeah.
it yesterday?
Yeah, I saw you where he is.
So you had a bad tank?
Yeah, tank's bad.
Did you get some adhesive in a vent or something when you were sealing the end cap on, or how does that happen with the carbon tank?
That was a Casminato tank. It's got
Uh,
a weird fuel filter inside. I think it was clogged up, so I put one of my tanks in it.
I know my first attempt at messing with a metal tank, it was a tank that came with the ringmaster that Steve gave me, and it was not a uniflow setup. And I took the end of it off and moved the vent around. And actually, the way they had it put together, I guess it was a tank from Brodeck or something. It was kind of funky. The pickup wasn't really where I see pictures of guys, so I fixed it all anyway. And when I was soldering the end cap on, I must have got the solder that was holding on the pickup where I wanted it to flow, and it went into the pickup and plugged it up. And I threw that thing on the ground and said, "Give me a plastic tank."
Well,
Just got to practice with that more, I guess.
I'm hoping I didn't ruin this engine because it ran lean and quit. It way overheated.
Does it still feel like it's got a good pinch at the top?
Well, I don't know. Got to
That's one
touch.
of the Brian Gardner liners.
Yep.
Yeah, I would presume if it's okay, it would still be tight at the top. I feel it better with no plug, I'm guessing.
Let's see what I did with my crescent
So,
wrench.
do the combat guys have a way to shut their engine off, right?
Yep.
Um, is that something that you could put on a stunt plane, or would you activate it doing the pattern?
No, you could do it.
Seems like if I had an expensive motor like that in an airplane, I probably would want to be able to shut it off in case it launched lean or something. How does it work? Do you know how does it work? The
Yeah, I
control.
got one. I got one here.
It is you're using the elevator somehow to do it though, right?
Yeah, you give down real quick and it flips the spring and pinches the fuel line off.
Okay. I guess if you got to be that abrupt in the pattern, something went wrong anyway, right?
I think this one's okay. I mean, not probably as good as the other one, but I got 4 of them. I just hate to lose one.
Well, I mean, I guess worst comes to worst, he'd probably make those sleeves again for, he'll go through that engine at least once more, I'm guessing.
Oh, I'm sure you will too. I got some more motors up there.
I ordered some piston and sleeve sets from him for the 46 LA, but frankly, I think I might email him and tell him never mind because I got so many stock engines now. And you figure at some point you kind of outgrow that engine and fly bigger stuff anyway. I don't think
That's a good motor. 46 LA is a good motor.
well, I think I got 6 new ones. Or parts. I accumulated the parts to put 6 new ones together.
What are you independently wealthy? You're not working.
Um, I'm independently without a wife and child to pay for. That helps a lot. My house is paid off years ago, so I don't think it'd be called wealthy, but this stuff can be pretty cheap. You can find 46 LA less than $100.
Can be pretty expensive too.
Well, I know that just for shits and giggles, I was looking at what if you bought a road jet now, that's like the only new engine, piped engine you can buy still. The latest prices I got from him, all of them 60 size and up are $500 for the engine. And the pipe and the header is another $150 or something. So, God, I could just imagine driving one of them straight into that asphalt out there at Booter. There's not much left when you crash like that, is there?
No.
Yeah. Dan told me a story. I remember, I don't know what airplane it was, but he said he was doing something and he did the wing over and his sunglasses fell like, off the top of his head or something. And he kind of got distracted and went to fix them. Meanwhile, the airplane just melted right into the asphalt and never pulled out from going straight down. It's like, God, that would just. Whew.
I had a Thunderbolt that barrel rolled into the asphalt out there.
How did it do that?
Well, I took the advice of somebody and used hinge glue instead of epoxy, and I think either the inboard or the outboard flap came off in a maneuver, and it barrel rolled right into the ground, about 5 foot in front of me.
Oh, God. What do you mean by hinge glue? Like that RC56 stuff?
Yeah,
Canopy glue?
yeah.
Huh.
Don't use that crap.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, most of the RC stuff I did, the bigger airplanes, we always use those Robart hinge points, and those round, the round peg ones.
Yeah.
That only works with epoxy. Somebody, I think it's somebody that comes on this hang up, and I can't think of their name now or who it was, but they were showing a way to use. You take the standard type, let's just say Dubro, since that's all you can get now, a Dubro pin hinge, and they take silk span and like fold it around it and slide that in there, and then they glue those hinges in with CA, and they're using that silk span to capillary wick the CA all the way into the back of the hinge slot. Is that something? Does that ring a bell, or
I know nothing about that.
You know who I think it is? I think it was John. Is it the guy who draws the plans? Is it Miller? John Miller?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was him. He had an article he wrote somewhere, and I found. I have to ask him if he comes on.
And I don't use that.
I would just use probably epoxy, less
Ah.
devices.
Well, we got Steve Berry says hello, and Yogi says hello.
I think my
And
cousin already crashed his airplane, needs a repair, he said.
who?
Crashed it in the basement.
Who?
My cousin. He has like a ding in the side of his canopy. I think he made a boo-boo drilling a hole or something.
Yeah, he's bringing it over tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, I just kind of joke about him crashing it, but it already needs a repair. He's got an engine for that from Tom Dixon, a 40 LA, I guess he bought. So I don't think it's stock. I think it's been modified somehow to run more pitch and a lower RPM.
Well, I did a project today. I got my pegboard up and some shelves so I can get some dope off the floor.
Let's see. Can you turn the camera on it?
No, you ain't seeing it. That thing it's a mess in there.
Okay. Did you ever have one of those, not just windy, but that's the first place I saw it. They made those racks that you can put your airplanes in nose first, like stack them up in your basement. Have you ever made something like that?
Yeah, I got the stuff to make it here. I just haven't got around to doing it.
Is it PVC? Use PVC pipe, or how do you do that?
Yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these 2x4s and measure up the wall how far I want them. I'm going to take them to the garage and drill. I got the PVC pipe and take my Forstner bit and drill holes in the PVC pipe at a slight angle so the airplane heads in there. There's Charles. Okay, anyway, and then bolt them to the wall. And then see if I can. I got a lot of airplanes here. I've sold a lot, but I've got a lot still.
Yeah, that time I was over there, I remember you have that back room and they're stacked up in there, like leaning against the wall, 7 or 8 deep.
Yeah. I'm been separating my wood. I got another pile. When when some more people come in, I'm gonna go over there and get another pile of wood over on here and separate that wood. Weigh it, whatever is RC, I put it in the box. I'm gonna take it out the garage, put it in the garage, and sell it at Brodax or whatever. I mean, it's good wood. It's just 6 pound, and I don't put that kind of wood in my airplane.
I might be interested in some of that. I don't think I'm afraid of 6 pounds, at least not for now. It crashed just as good as anything else.
Well, I got about $1,000 worth, maybe more.
What about
Guy,
you? Do you need any wood?
what?
I said, what about you, Gary? Do you need any wood?
Nah, no.
I mean, it's all high quality stuff. It's just the weight is out,
It's a
out
little
for
heavy.
me.
Have you bought? I'm not for these Skyrays I'm building. I'm not using. It's probably all between 6 and 8 pound wood I'm using in them. But
6 and 15.
no, I don't have. I didn't have anything that heavy. I would. I don't think I would use anything in the double digits, just out of principle. But for a trainer type airplane like that, I mean, they fly good. They come out pretty heavy. The stock kit's got plywood ribs, so you figure if you're going to use balsa wood and decent balsa wood at that, you could probably supposedly you could save 5-6 ounces over a stock kit. We'll see. We'll see. Did you see? That weird thing you said was going on at the field, the turkey shoot, I guess.
Yeah,
Did they not send an email out about that this year?
I don't know.
I didn't see. Steve said he didn't know if he got one.
I was there, but my airplane wouldn't work. There's Steve.
Yeah.
What's up, Steve and Steve?
More of the same. Wow, this is St. Louis show.
Yeah, Gary, you got to move. We
Oh,
decided you're
okay.
going to move to town with us.
I'll see you in a little bit then. Nah.
It was howling today and will be tomorrow and Wednesday.
Be good practice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, right.
You practicing for going to Oklahoma next year?
Well, I got the pegboard up, Steve.
You did?
Yeah,
All right.
took some of them jars of paint, made some shelves, put them up, get them off from under the bench.
Oh, that's great. So you're making progress a little bit at a time.
Yeah,
You got the wood all sorted?
I got all the wood that was leaning up against the wall over there sorted and boxed. I got out of all that stuff, I got 2 boxes I'm keeping. The rest of the stuff I'm going to put out in the garage, and then all the wood that's on the shelf I'm going to pull down tonight and go through it.
Oh, okay. You're
Well,
sniffing glue there, Steve? What's up?
It's an empty thing to type on. I was curious if it's still. This stuff's no fun to sniff, but it does smell kind of neat.
Oh.
You don't have any good fun sniffing type on. You need something else. I don't think you can buy good glue to sniff anymore, can you?
Oh yeah,
I don't know. That's something that I didn't ever.
PVC pipe cement, that'll get you high.
Oh
Yeah.
my.
Duco cement, that'll get you
I
high.
have a tube of Duco over there.
Oh.
But I don't.
Decided what you're gonna build next?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Said something like a sailboat, a model sailboat. I thought he
No,
A ship in a bottle.
said. Yeah.
tomorrow I'm probably gonna start on your airplane.
Where are you going to cut into that thing? So you're going to put a whole new lead out into it. You got to put the new copper around the bell crank and everything.
Yeah.
You almost got to take the bell crank out of the wing, don't you?
Not sure. We'll see. I didn't build the wing, so I don't know how it's in there.
Probably with hot glue.
That'd be good because then I can just heat it up with a heat gun or a soldering iron and pull it out.
Hmm.
But I doubt it. It's got to be some kind of white glue.
Maybe it's with RC56 canopy glue.
It'd be good.
Mhm.
I should have
yours.
known. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, you got yours finished yet, Steve?
Those 3 airplanes?
Yeah.
No, they're building the wings.
You got wings, sort of.
You guys are going to be done flying for a year here in a matter of weeks anyway, aren't you?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
And don't buy no wood at Schaefer's. Tell me what you need and get it for me because even my worst wood is better than the wood at Schaefer's.
I don't know, man. That 3.5-pound block came from Schaefer's.
Yeah, that's 1 in a million.
Yeah. I can remember I fondled that thing 5 or 6 times, and I just thought, what am I going to do with this? Because I don't really have never built anything that uses big blocks. That isn't. It's more common in these kind of models in control line, but for the stuff I've ever built and the way my mind works, all you do with that is cut it up into something thinner. But I just figured I'll leave this for somebody that really needs it. It is pretty obviously light. I don't know, the fuselage wood that I got for these Sky Rays, I didn't buy half-inch. I bought 1/4 inch, and I laminated 2 pieces together to make half-inch. But that was
Yeah.
5-pound wood from Schaefer's. 5.5, something like that. I might have to end up putting some fiberglass cloth on the outside of it or something if it's too flimsy.
You should have laminated carbon or fiberglass in between the 2 layers.
I thought about that, but I think at the end of the day, doesn't it do you more good the further away from the center of the piece you get that?
I don't know. That's, I got unidirectional carbon, which is stiff carbon.
I have a whole big bolt of 3/4 ounce fiberglass cloth that I use for this stuff. Did you ever get something from a place called Thayer Craft?
No, I only get my stuff at Wix.
They have lightweight stuff there like that?
Half ounce, 3/4 ounce, ounce.
Okay, I didn't know they had that stuff.
It's a real airplane factory. They got real stuff there.
I just wouldn't have thought they would have used anything that lightweight in a full-scale airplane.
Well,
Half
the stuff
3/4.
that I got, he said he sells a lot to guys who build kayaks.
Oh,
You were back there, right, Steve?
Yeah, I went back there with you one time.
I've never been over there before.
Did you go in the Oregon side too? I don't remember.
No, I don't think so.
Like organ
Yeah,
musical
Oregon,
instrument?
Wix organs.
Really?
Hmm.
They're like Yamaha.
Church, they're like church organs, pipe organs.
Yeah,
Oh,
high dollar stuff.
they're not putting those in many churches anymore. I would think.
I guess God can't afford them.
Well, God could have. I don't think most of the money makes it to him anymore. Gets
No,
deep into buying somebody a Cadillac or paying for a golf membership or whatever else the priests do.
a mansion.
Well, I don't know. Priests are. I was raised Catholic, and those priests live in a rectory. They can have nice stuff, but they can't live anywhere nice. They live right there at the church in like a dorm. But they drink. They get a lot of booze money. I'm guessing those guys do lots of drinking. When I went to a Catholic high school here in town, and we would be out and about with our fake IDs, and very often we'd run into some of the priests from our high school. They're like, we won't tell we saw you here if you don't say you saw us here.
Let's see here. Yogi says doing dope on your airplane in a closed room will do you good.
Yeah. Did you guys see that Anya had new engines they to sell? I guess they sold out already, but
I'm not interested.
well, they're smaller. They're 35s, I guess.
Yeah, there's a problem as far as I can see. It's an unusual design. The front drive comes off with no back plate.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Most everything Ken made though is pretty high quality stuff.
Oh, Enya's good stuff.
I think Kevin, I can never say his last name, Piers. He's a guy from up there, Kansas City, Dave Tribble's son-in-law. I think he bought one
Oh, Kevin Pryor?
prior. Yeah, I think he got one. They had 5 RC engines and 4 control line engines. And now
Total?
the batch they made, yeah, I think I don't know if they maybe found some parts and put these together, or somebody came on Stunt Hangar a few days ago and put a link to the RC one.
Huh.
When I went and looked at their website, and I said, "Why? Certainly they got a control line version of this. I wonder if they have those for sale." And sure enough, they did. But the control line, nope. The RC, I don't know any RC guys that play with Enya. It was never popular.
The bad thing about Enya, it was heavy, is all. They're good quality, but heavy.
Oh, okay. Do those Super Tiger 60s that you like, do those have ball bearings in them? Or are
Yes.
they plain? And they're still pretty light anyway, huh?
As far as the 60 size motor goes, they're 11 ounces.
Man, that's amazing. Usually the ball bearing engine pretty heavy. I mean, I think I got some RC 46 size engines that weigh more than that.
I got ceramic bearings in these.
Huh. Are they ceramic race and ball, or just ceramic ball?
I don't know. You'd have to ask Boca.
Did you ever figure out what happened with the Caramba? Or did you just replace the whole powertrain?
He put electric in it. He said screw this.
Yeah, right.
I replaced the whole powertrain. I put the tank out of the Simply Blues and the motor out of the Simply Blues in it. I straightened out the lead outs so that they weren't dragging. And I twisted the tail wheel so it wouldn't ground loop. I'm not sure about, I haven't took it out to the street to push it to see if it comes in on me, but
Oh, okay.
I'm thinking this airplane's too nose heavy. So might be changing out the spinner to a carbon spinner.
Does that make that big a difference?
Over a half ounce.
Half an ounce.
I was kind of surprised to see that you had the full muffler on it instead of a tongue muffler.
No, they run much better with a full muffler. Roy Lane says, good evening, everyone. Like given. Went to the flying field today. Got one
Nice.
flight on the Ringmaster. Was doing my maiden and on my lightning streak. I cut the tip off my ring finger off.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
Master air screws props are sharp.
Yeah.
Tony Dallas says, hi everyone, like given. How does wing offset and how much works the best? Well, how wing offset works is if you have a longer inboard wing than the outboard, it means it creates more lift. You're dragging around the lines So you add tip weight. So if you have a longer inboard wing with more lift, you use less tip weight, meaning the airplane's lighter.
Are yours offset, Bob?
Of course.
Even even the Carumba?
Yep. Even the Crossfire.
The Crossfire's that way too? I never measured it.
Well, why do you think one flap won't fit on the one from one side to the other?
Hey,
Because they're
Sparky,
different, right?
what would the
What-
difference roughly be in the length?
Hope you measured it when you were putting the wing in it.
Anywhere from a half to an inch and a half. The old time guys would run a full rib bay, 2 inches.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought I read somewhere that it had something to do with the fact that the inboard panel was effectively flying slower than the outboard panel.
That's why you make your outboard flap a 1/4 inch bigger. So they both have the same wing area.
No, I mean, I heard that's why the inboard panel was longer than the outboard panel, so because it was flying slower and it wouldn't make as much lift as the outboard panel, but it's about tip weight, huh?
Yep. And a longer inboard wing means less tip weight. It's forcing the airplane to roll out. That's the stagger.
Well, Stuart made it.
Yep. All the way from Canada.
I always thought that long extra wing bay there was for windy weather.
No.
Either because you're out by the wings out there.
No, the turtle deck is made for windy weather. And this may sound goofy or whatever. I see everybody takes off downwind when the wind's blowing real hard. That's a bad place to take off. You want to take off directly in front of the judges, upwind. The reason being is the wind will push on the fuselage. The back half of the fuselage has more area, and it turns the plane out. And you have half a lap before, or matter of fact, you have more than a half a lap. You have 3/4 of a lap before you come into the wind, causing the airplane to rise. If you take off directly downwind, you got a 1/4 lap before you're directly into the wind, causing you to
Mhm.
pop up.
And there's Mr. Bailey.
How's everybody?
All right.
All right.
What a day, man. Anyway, so you talking about that downwind takeoffs? That makes good sense, Sparky. Everyone's, I said that makes good sense taking off like that.
Watch all the top guys. They take off right in front of the judges.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Easier for the judges to see the rollout and the climb too.
It's also easier to get their attention when you go start the motor. I have more than once. I have more than once at small contests, especially been ready to start, and I got a sequence. I flip the motor, prime the motor, flip it backwards, flip it forward 6 times, flip it backwards twice, flip it forward once, and hook my battery up. Then I turn around and wave to the judges, and when they acknowledge it and start the clock, flip it one time and you're running. But when they're not paying attention and it takes 10 seconds to get their attention, you just burn off all your prime.
I don't have that problem. I just push the button.
Well,
He's
I do
using
too
an
most of
electric
the time
starter.
now.
Yeah.
I do too now, but I still fly old time, and that's Fox 59 or, well, the new Stunt Wagon 60 is actually a 46, and everybody's asking me, why did you put a 46? Why are you putting a 46 in a Stunt Wagon 60? Because Ted Fancer did it, and it worked very well for Ted.
Okay.
Phil, if you used an electric starter, would you have to go through that regiment as well?
I don't know. I've never used an electric starter. I own 2 or 3 of them, but I've never used one.
I'll give you permission to try it if you want.
Well, I wouldn't try it on that airplane because that airplane uses a Froome, 2.5 inch spinner, or I've forgotten how big it is. It might be 3.5. Anyway, it's a Froome spinner, and it ain't cheap.
Hmm.
I don't want to mangle up a spinner.
If you can even find one.
Yeah, I have one left, and I have one on my God, has it been that long? It has been 40-year-old stunt wagon 60. I guess I ought to get pictures of that and send it to Gary. But anyway, my stunt wagon 60 is has a Froome spinner on the Fox 59. The new one, which is not painted yet, has a Super Tiger 46 going in it, and it too has a Froome spinner. But where I'll get the next one, I have no idea, because I've looked and looked and looked, and I can't find another Froome.
When you say mangle it, what does your starter do to your spinner?
They actually twist it a little, but it'll just kind of
Scuff it up.
just kind of gall or scar the front of the
You,
spinner. And I'm anal. I have to go in, take the
Oh, I
spinner
know.
off and clean
Do
it
you
with
ever use
1,000
the
trips.
silicone starter inserts, or do you just use the stock?
I use the silicone ones when I can get them.
Okay.
But around here, the only hobby shop we have for I don't know how many miles caters to RC cars.
Hmm.
RC car people that use a starter,
Maybe a starter box.
yeah, use a starter box or a strap. There are no silicone starter sleeves around here. I looked for them at the Nationals this year and I didn't find one. But then I didn't see anybody using a starter because there was only two in the top 15 that were even using IC. David Fitzgerald and I had his name a second ago and I forgot it. But anyway,
Matt
yeah,
Cohen.
Matt Cohen, that was it. Everybody else was pushing the button and getting out of the way.
So what's a Froome spinner and why is it special besides being
Froome
unobtainable?
spinner is 1950s vintage. I don't know exactly what year, but it's old. They haven't made them since the 50s. Or I don't know that they have. I've always been told they haven't been made since the 50s. And they are thin aluminum, very light, reed, easy to bend. So you just want to take it easy with those.
Hmm.
That's not something, if you have a bump up with a plastic spinner, you might crack it. With a Froome spinner, you're going to bend it.
Hmm.
I have yet to be able to, I'm a pretty good metal worker, and I have never been able to get one back straight enough you couldn't see it. Well, I did get one back we could use, but I cheated. I put putty in. I roughed it up, put putty in it, and painted it. Whatever,
Here's one on eBay.
There's one on eBay.
New old stock 2.25-inch Froome spinner.
How much? $30?
300
Yeah,
bucks.
$30.
Yeah, it's about what they usually go for. 30, 35. And a friend of mine went to a, we
But
went
they
to
do
a
look thin too. Look at that thing.
friend of mine went to an RC sale over here in High Point, and he was arguing with a guy, trying to talk the guy down. The guy wanted a quarter, and it was in the box. I kid you not, he was trying to talk him down.
Did you slap them?
No, I walked by and handed the guy a quarter and said, "Give him the spinner." He said, "Man, you're taking all the fun out of it." I said, "My God, you're killing me."
I don't think this is even a whole spinner. It looks like there must be some associated hardware that goes with it.
I'm not sure 2.5 inches enough. It might be
Yeah, this is only
it might be 3.25. It
This-
might be a 3. I'll have to go measure it. I don't know. I'll look and tell you Friday night.
Here's a
I'll probably have the stunt
2 3/4.
wagon up here Friday night.
Oh, that'd be good. See,
Well, I flew it for about 6 years, and it's earned being retired. I started to say earned a retirement, but it's earned a rest, because I'll still take it out and fly it once in a while. It just flies too well.
Is the stunt wagon the airplane that doesn't really have one vertical fin? It has like two smaller things on the side of the stab. Am I thinking of the right airplane?
No. So, look at your calendar. This is my stunt wagon 30. Stunt wagon 60 is just much bigger. Instead of an OS 25 that's a Fox 35, it's a Fox 59. And the Fox 59 will bite you. It has a nasty temper. I flew that thing I'm thinking I flew it about 10 years. And we always flew it on Fox fuel or the equivalent. And then Charlie Reeves come up here the last time that I actually got to fly with Charlie, because Charlie's not doing real well now. I'm sorry to say. I
Mm.
really missed him coming flying with us because he's a great guy. Anyway, excuse me,
You got a problem with your computer, Phil? There's something ringing. It's going ding, ding, ding. You guys,
Is it-
you guys
is it
hear
all
that?
those
Phil's
crazy
or-
things tell me my antivirus is. You still hearing that?
Yep.
Maybe it'll quit. Oh
Yeah,
God.
just happened. Huh.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not going to quit. It's telling me my McAfee's expired. It's all the same thing, but it just keeps coming back and telling me. I may have to get off and go to the book. I don't know what's going on with this crazy thing, but anyway, I forgot what I was saying.
You were
But
telling us
anyhow.
about that guy whose health is not doing well and he doesn't get to come fly with you.
Charlie Reeves.
Charlie Reeves. Charlie, he came over and he was flying his Fox 59 in his big job on, instead of 5%, he was flying it on 10%, and it was 1022, half caster, half synthetic.
Hmm.
Well, I've never run it on 10%, and I've never run it on anything with caster, with synthetic in it. It's always been full caster, because that's what I was always told to run by Charlie, because that's what he was doing. Man, that thing made so much more power and flew so much better. And when it landed, it didn't sound like hot grease popping. My golly, how much wood you bringing in, son? What are you trying to do?
This is wood that I had on a shelf. I'm sorting. I already sorted the other pile.
My good gracious.
It's going to be so much
Howard's
room
just
in
weighing
that shop.
Do what?
There's going to be a lot of room in that shop.
Maybe.
Maybe it's for the fireplace.
Yeah, he found some of that, I think.
If that's for the
I've heard money to burn.
I'll come get it.
I've heard money to burn. Maybe it's also to burn.
No, that's Bob Hunt. He talks about he's using his son's inheritance,
Mm.
using some really good. Bob's got some really nice wood. I don't know how in the world he does it, but he's got a friend. A few years back, he said he had a friend that had a garage that was floor to ceiling contest balsa.
Mm.
Oh my
And
God.
oh my gosh, those guys.
Yeah.
Well, the guys in Jersey, that's all they did. They had a contest literally every weekend,
Mhm.
and they just built. I mean, I don't know. They had some amazing stuff. And, well, you always wonder how Billy Werwich builds an airplane that Sparky builds, and it's 54 ounces, and Billy builds it and it's 46 ounces, 10 ounces lighter. It's because Billy's got wood that's really wonderful stuff. Billy's got some. I don't know what Billy and Bob. They just knew the secret of getting really, really good wood.
Got to buy a lot and pick through it.
Well, that's what
That's
Bobby
what-
does now. Is what he tells
Yeah.
me. Buys $400 worth to get $20 worth at work. So I said, I can't do that. What do you do with the rest of it?
Sell the three.
Either that, or people send you their best stuff. Because I know people who used to.
Yeah, I know people who used to. A guy in Texas, Riley Wooten, used to. I called him up, and after I met him at Tucson, I kept getting stuff. That you can make a ball bat with, but you wouldn't want to make a stunner with. And I met Riley at Tucson. I said, Riley, what do I have to do to get some good wood? What do I have to do to get that thing to go away?
Yes, please.
Riley says, you have to call me and tell me who you are. Well, I figured, okay, that you know how far that goes, because he met 100 people this weekend. He's not going to remember everybody. Well, I got back and I come up with about a $20 order I was going to make, and then one of the other guys needed some wood, and that went up to a $60 order. And then, anyway, it ended up being about $150 worth of wood. Well, I went ahead and called Riley and talked to him and placed the order. The stuff came in, and I expected Louisville Slugger. I got featherweight. Oh my gosh, that stuff's nice. And then one of the other guys that had ordered a whole bunch, he ordered as much as I ordered or more, didn't take it. Something had happened, and he never came and got it. I asked him about it 2 or 3 times. I think I'm gonna go change the other computer. This is ridiculous. But anyway, I had enough wood to build about 4 really nice airplanes, and I got a really nice stunt wagon out of it, and a really nice I can't remember what came next. Humongous. I've got a humongous downstairs. It's going to be finished here in the next few weeks. It's 10 years old and it's brand new. I built it 2 years ago, but I never painted it. So now I'm painting it. I've got several planes like that. I've got a plane downstairs that's 30 years old, never been painted, and it's in the process of being painted. Good Lord, Sparky, you've got more junk wood than I've got wood.
I don't know that that's junk yet. He's got to go through it.
Yeah.
There's good wood in there.
This is a
It
good
sounds
one.
like his bad wood is not that bad. It's not like he's got 10-pound wood there.
I think
No,
I've
it's
got-
6 pound,
Yeah, that's what
6
I've
to
been.
8.
I got a lot of room in the back of the Forerunner. I'm deciding if I need to go down there. And
yeah,
look.
I've got a Mustang, but I'll come fill it up. I've got a pickup truck too. I ain't scared.
This is a good piece
I think I
here.
can get there quickly.
I'll bring him an airplane to paint and pick it up at Tucson at Brodak next year. Good grief. That thing dings about one more time. Okay, guys, I'll be back.
On demand, it digged.
That thing up there drives me crazy. I don't know what's going on. That's
Yeah.
just incredible. I
Yeah,
catch you a little bit. Good evening, Ed. Hadn't got a chance to say hello to you.
Howdy, sir.
How are you? It's,
Hi,
Doing
Ed.
fine. Doing fine. Hi, guys.
for some reason, my computer has decided it's going to tell me I got a refund notice from Amazon, and I got 2 things that are out of date. I need to redo. McGaffey.
I
Just keep
uninstall
sticking.
it when that happens because it's driving me crazy.
Well, that's what I say. I'm going to change computers. I'll be back in a few minutes.
All right, Phil.
All right.
So it's amazing. Bob can pick up a piece of wood and he knows what the thickness is without measuring it. He
I
asked me
know.
to look for he asked me to look for something when I'm building my plane. Well, you need a 3/8 piece. I'm like, duh.
Yeah, I noticed that while he was sorting too.
Yeah, he's got this little tool where you can slide it over the edge of the wood. It's got different widths on it. So I was using that and I still couldn't find it. And then he comes over about 5 minutes later, reaches in the pile, pulls one right out.
Almost like he's done it a few times.
Yeah, I guess so.
Once, maybe twice. Most of this wood is Riley Wooten wood here.
He was Lone Star Balsa, right?
Yep.
Yep. Everybody. I don't think anybody ever complained about getting wood from them.
But this was all my scrap. Stuff that I didn't think was light enough. So we're gonna go through it. Like, here's Pactra balsa wood.
Oh, yeah.
Actra, wow.
Yeah, this is old stuff. $1.55 for 1/8 inch by 4 by 36.
That's from Hobby Lobby or something.
I'm using up some old 4x48 16th inch wood that I got.
I got it. I got all that shit here.
Don't
Man, I
really
got-
find that anymore.
This is a whole pile of 1/8 inch Pactra balsa right here.
Hmm.
Now here's Midwest here.
Yep.
West, yeah. Remember that? Yeah.
Contest wood. This contest. Pactra. Premium Pactra. Midwest. $1.50. This is old stuff.
Mm.
Old stuff. Make good fuselage sides. There's quarter. That's 3/16. 3/16 Pactra. Now where the hell I got that? Oh, it's coming up in price. $1.80 for 3/16.
It's not too far from what it costs now. I think.
3/16. 3/16 Pactra. Premium Pactra. Midwest. $1.50 for 3/16. Pactra. Premium Pactra. Midwest. $1.80 for 3/16. Pactra. Premium Pactra. Midwest. $1.80 for 3/16. Pactra. some more 1/8" stuff.
You said something about Charles earlier. I thought he was getting ready to get on here or something, but he must have been calling you.
No, he messaged me and said, "What do I, what are my thoughts on installing a canopy?" I just sent him a link to canopy install. Here's a piece I was looking for. This is 64th here.
64th balsa?
Yep,
Wow.
like paper.
Yeah.
Another piece. Here's a potato chip. No good.
Hmm.
So what I'm doing here is I'm sorting out. Like people would freak out, but I'm not keeping this. I'm just scrapping all this wood that's ate up. How the hell I got over there? A piece of 8.
That had a chunk out of it.
What was the price on your 16th by 4 by 36 old piece?
$1.55.
I got some here that must have been older because it's only $1.33.
I got some 93 cents here stuff.
Hmm.
Mine's sea grain though. That's hard. You got any sea grain wood?
Oh yeah. Here's a piece of sigwood, 3/16 by 3 by 36, $1.39. I know where that wood came from. Came from Gary.
Oh.
$1.22 for these. But most of this stuff is Riley Wooten and it don't have a price on it.
Yeah, your pile's getting unstable there.
Yeah. That box that I say is, scrap wood. It's a
Uh-huh.
big box. It must weigh 40 pounds.
Wow.
That's a lot of wood.
Yeah.
See, this is a 3/32, 18 grams. That's heavy. That's heavy wood. Here's some 3.7-pound wood, so we want to keep that. Piece of 4.5.
Oh, no bird tonight. Sitting there.
No,
Sorry, I hit the wrong button. Let me finish my message.
It happens. Well, Phil, you got a different background with the iPad.
yeah, I don't have room in there on on my desk to put this without putting something in the floor, and easier just come in here and sit down.
Boy, this is a piece like a pine, but it's straight.
Stuart, I sent you a message and then I sent a message to everybody, but I made a mistake. So look at the one I just sent for everybody. That was something that we talked about looking at in regards to talking with schools or people in regards to youth aviation. The guy that was at the event made a YouTube video, which he really did a great job. So if
Well,
you
that's
go
cool.
on, if you go on to YouTube, you can type in that search, and it should be right there at the top.
Okay, I'll do that maybe
I'll
tomorrow.
check it out after a while.
And of course, I could also possibly try to share it, I mean, show it, but I'm not sure whether I'll be able to get my thing shared properly. So
You changed the artwork behind you, Ed.
not really, just more junk.
I thought it was different. Oh well. Anyway,
At least I
Ed's
think
got
it was there when you were here.
Ed's got a lot of neat stuff. I mean, a lot of neat stuff. But the sickening thing about it is Ed's got a sickness. Everything is organized. Organized people scare me because I'm not near as much as I should be. My toolbox is organized, but my shop is not near as organized as Ed's is. He can lay his hands on anything in there. It's spooky. But he's got some nice stuff.
Well, it
And I've
don't take
never-
organization to be able to lay your hand on anything, does it, Steve?
No, your stuff wasn't organized, but you go right to it.
Well, I can't do that. I have to have mine organized or I'm lost. I hate spending more time finding a tool than it takes me to use it.
Yeah.
And my son-in-law would come over here and I'd be working on a car for him or something. Or he'd come over and I'd be in the wood shop and be working on something with hand tools. And he'd pick something up, look at it, lay it down somewhere else. Drive me bananas because I know where I laid it and it's not there. He
There's
told me I was.
several videos on that West Virginia thing.
Pardon me?
That's a lot of
So-
fun.
There's several videos on that West Virginia.
Yeah. Did you see the one for 2024?
The one with the helicopter at the beginning.
Probably.
Yeah, there's one from a TV station.
Well, no, is there one from it'll say Expo 2024. It'll say Carl Hopkins WV Youth Aviation Expo 2024.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's what I searched for, but I'm getting all kinds of other stuff.
Y'all need
Let
to
me,
try to come next year because it is a hoot. He puts
Yeah,
on a
year
heck-
5. Year 5 coming up.
He puts on a heck of a show. We had a lot of fun with that. Next year, I'm gonna have a couple. That guy that takes, look up a minute, Ed. That guy that comes up and takes that little airplane and goes.
Yeah,
Doug. I'm gonna have one to come over and play with him. I'm still gonna bring my stunners, but I'm gonna go over and play with him for a few minutes too.
I agree.
He's having too darn much fun to be left alone. I'm gonna go over and play some too. This guy goes over, guys. He's got a. I don't know the name of a rubber powered indoor airplane. And I'm not even sure it's supposed to be an indoor airplane. But he goes over with this thing and he says the motor that's in it's too big. That's for outdoor or something. So he puts a smaller motor in it. And he goes over and puts it on this winder that looks like something out of Mad Science. And he winds it up a certain number of turns. Then he puts it in the air. It's on a winding stick. He puts it in the airplane. He walks out to the center of the room and he just takes the plane, gets down on his knees, and just takes the plane and gives it a toss, and it goes flying around. He gets up, turns his back on the airplane, walks back to the desk, and sits there and fools around. Does I don't know what he was doing. Looks up, looks at his watch. It's been about 2 minutes. He looks up and looks at his watch, turns around, walks out to the center of the room where he launched the thing from. About that time, it comes around and lands at his feet. He picks it up and walks back off just as nonchalant. I said, "This guy is cool." And I just love to watch him. He was just cool, and he's as nice as he can be. He's just a great guy.
Yeah, he comes in from the Maryland area. He does a lot for the U.S. Navy as a civilian.
He's a cool dude.
What's his name?
Doug Griggs.
Huh.
And that.
Cool
Steve, did you see it with the green helicopter?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, that's the one.
That's the one. Okay.
Yeah. That Marshall
I
University.
didn't watch it. I just saw it in the list.
Okay, Marshall University sent up their helicopter for us.
Okay. But you had I saw full, it looked like full scale stuff, but you got RC
Yeah.
and control line models
Oh, yeah.
as well.
It's everything we could think of,
Rocket.
and it's all hands on, and it's all free.
Wow,
and
that's
and they
great.
walk away with prizes, airplanes, shirts, tote bags.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing Mark Weiss wants us to be doing.
Yeah.
Well,
And
that's
Mr.
good.
Weiss has been instrumental in making it successful, helping me out on year one
Mm,
and all the other years since then, except for this year because of the world and
Yeah.
that. So he's still okay in my books, though.
Yeah, he's a good dude. We'll keep
Well,
him.
Ed, is it true that with my absence, you had the best year ever?
Oh, give me a break. Give me a break.
No, it's just not the same without you there.
Be there next year.
Yeah. Yep.
He's
Already working on it.
He's a wild man.
That's good. That's good. Hey, Steve Smith, what happened to the original?
Oh,
Uh-oh.
I didn't change it this time. I just left
All
it.
right. Wait, I got to get back to Mrs. Waskey here.
Hi there.
Hi. I heard a rumor that you guys look absolutely awesome now.
Wow, we've lost a little weight.
You look great.
Hey,
Yeah,
congratulations.
thank you.
I think I know where it went, Ed.
No, I did too.
Yeah, Ed's lost 30 some pounds and I've lost 51 pounds. Can you believe that?
Hey, good deal.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about I found it. I found
Oh,
10
you
pounds.
You found it.
Well, good. I'm glad.
I'm not. I gotta
As long
get
as I
rid
can-
of it.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, me too. I gotta get rid of it.
Yeah.
Mommy's on my backside cracking the whip. You know,
Yeah.
gotta lose his weight.
So
The doctor's on me, and Vicky's she's good at keeping what the doctor said. You better listen.
yeah. Well,
She's a good
anyway.
egg. I'm gonna have to keep her. Oh,
I think that's a good idea.
Oh yeah.
me too. 49 years. 49 years she's been putting up with my abuse. I think I'm gonna have to try to keep her a little longer.
So Ed and I we're 24 years, but we were both widowed. So this is the second time around for both of us. So
Yeah, this is our first time. I got lucky the first time. I don't think I'll
we
try it
did
again.
too, but our spouses died. Does that count?
Mm.
No, it counts. It counts, but I don't think I'd ever get as lucky second time around as I did the first one. So I'm gonna hang on to what I got. If anything
I
happens to
agree.
her, I'm gonna hope I go first.
Yeah.
Here, I thought I was the lucky one escaping that institution.
Yeah. It's different strokes for different strokes.
Oh,
brother.
no,
different strokes for different folks.
I'm
brother.
joking. I'm joking.
Yeah. Some people it works great for, and other people just weren't meant to be married. I'm telling you.
Yep.
I got a buddy that's been married 4 times, and he's
4 times. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Is he
God.
broke?
Is that
No.
is that how you
He's
end
not
up
broke?
all four
I
to-
haven't been
with the
married 4
large one?
times.
he's
Okay.
not very smart though.
Obviously.
He's smart.
million.
He's smart in business, just not smart in love. My older brother's been married 4 times, but he's got the 4th one seems to be working. Yeah. But anyway,
Just popped in here to say good evening.
well, good evening to you. We're
Yeah,
glad
and
to see
Mr.
you.
Weiss
Good to
is
see you.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm just jealous. When I stayed over your house, you didn't do that to me.
Hey, wait a minute now. Yeah, but we gave you the French.
Tell anybody.
Oh, okay.
Good
I
seeing
don't know
you
about
guys.
this.
Oh.
We're looking forward to seeing you next summer, girl.
Yeah.
Already, like I said.
Alrighty. Well, have a good time tonight.
Thank you.
Okay, honey.
Yeah. Well,
Good gracious. Oh, I think a lot of us are luckier than we want to admit.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
But anyway. Well, has anybody done any flying?
Yeah.
Sparky did.
Yeah. I flew Sunday. Bob flew Sunday. He wasn't happy with his flight, but he flew.
Yeah.
I noticed he's got the new plane on the wall. Does that mean that he has hung the blue one up somewhere else?
Back in the file.
Yeah, he
said
took
you
the
were supposed to
motor and
bring the
tank
fuel.
out of it, put it in this new one.
You took the motor out of the blue plane?
Yeah, that hurt my feelings when I heard that too.
Well, he wasn't happy with what he put in there in the first place. I could hear it wasn't running right.
He said you were supposed to bring him the fuel, and you forgot Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Wait a
I
minute,
want to,
Sparky.
I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I wanted to share something with you guys that occurred to me almost accidentally. I was going through my great to see you too, Eddie. Going through some photos, and I enjoy photography. I do a fair amount of it, and I was just looking back at stuff, and I found a series of photos that I think Will Davis took. I'm pretty sure Will did. And I think it was our second year at Brodak, and this young woman came by with her only child and her husband. Wonderful family. And we taught her, I mean, she picked up flying that ring rat really well, really well. And it's nice to see those pictures. Well, then I have two other pictures of the daughter who was like 3 at the time, soloing, and then her other daughter soloing. And I'll tell you, it's probably the best pictures I have of the hobby. If I could show any pictures of this hobby, it would be those, the camaraderie, the photo of me just and the daughter. And I think it would be a neat, not a challenge, but I think it would be a great thing if everyone had some photos of people that they've worked with. This happened to be a family. The dad is an RC flyer, incredibly supportive of his wife and kids. So it's just, I don't know. It's just a neat thing to have. They're there every year. And I think it'll be the kind of stuff I'd love to see on one of our websites, or maybe in the quarterly or whatever we do. I think we do 5 newsletters now. But I'm sure some of you guys have these already. If you don't, find someone. Just find someone. I'm sure Len has taught a lot of people. And I imagine all of you have. Phil has been flying a lot of years. God knows, Sparky flew before we had internal combustion.
Yeah.
He was the only one who weighed the rubber bands on his airplane.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's really, I don't know, there's just something about it when you have your arm around, and Will and I have always asked permission. We'd never wrap our arm around a female or child without parents' permission. But when they come running out to you and they remember your name, and the kids just can't wait to get on the handle, that's special.
Yep.
Yeah, it's all worth it.
Yeah, and I think they'll remember. It wasn't a one and done. It's been they've probably been coming 9, 10 years.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see the family grow. And and I haven't aged. Will hasn't either, but they have.
I see Will right regular. I would have to beg to differ with you on that.
Yeah. And Eddie, maybe we can do something like that in West Virginia. And when we get one of the kids up there, we should just make it standard operating procedure to get, and I think we've done some of this. I know Will did, to get some pictures with the parents in there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we have some holding a ring rat or something like that.
When you look at that YouTube video, Gary is already committed to come next year, and he just needed some directions in regards to, what do you want, Ed? What do you want me to do? He was just amazing and stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll
So I'm
make
just
sure of
throwing
that.
that out. It just kind of hit me last night. I just looked at that photo and it's just such a favorite photo. So anyway, I think Friday we were yakking about how to keep things alive and growing, and maybe that's what got my mind thinking that.
I'll tell you what, if you want to get it to grow, my favorite photo ever in control line is a picture of Will's two grandkids out there teaching a little girl to fly at
Yep.
Brodak.
Yep.
And that was as adorable as it gets.
It is. And he had one similar to that at Brodak.
Well, that was at Brodak, yeah.
Yeah. And then you see a bunch with Mike Palco's son,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and those
Yeah.
are just, it doesn't get much better.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun the last few years.
Yeah. And I'd be curious about something if you don't mind me asking this question. How many of you, I can see 9 on the screen. Sparky, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. How many of you got into the hobby because of a father or a very close friend?
That's me.
That's me.
Father, yeah, me.
I did. Ed did.
Yep.
Okay. So okay. I'm surprised it's that low.
Yeah,
That's
I heard
unusual.
I heard the noise going on up at the park. Went up to see what
Yeah.
was going on,
Yeah.
and then Mom took me every Saturday after that.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. Uh, looks like Sparky's
About got it whipped down.
He's getting ready for winter.
he's like a bear ready to get in the cave.
I got
Yeah.
four big boxes of wood over there, and on the other side of that wall, I got one big box of junk wood. Well, heavy wood, 6 pound and up. And we're going to add to that and put this with the good stuff and put it back on the shelf.
That's good. I'll tell you what I'm going through right now, and there's a Garden State Circle Burners is having their flea market sometime in November in northern New Jersey. When I get ready for that, I always do a shop inventory. You know, and I got to tell you, I'm shocked how much I have. You know,
Mhm.
I haven't met a control line flyer yet that has what they need. You know,
I don't think you ever will.
no, I don't think if you do, that person's probably not really in the hobby.
No.
Yeah, they're fakes. But it's kind of neat, and every once in a while you find something you didn't even know you had.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I kind of enjoy it, and I bounce it off my buddy Tom Smeltzer, and he's got one of these memories. He knows more about my shop than I do. You know.
Tom does have a good memory, though.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does.
He and Bob Hunt are two amazing memory people.
Yeah.
I got to say something to Len. Len,
Go ahead.
I don't be mad at me, but I mailed your cylinders off today.
Oh, no, don't worry about it, Sparky. That's awesome. Thank you very much.
I sent you 2.
Oh, that's amazing. Much appreciated.
One is like brand new, and the other one is, it should work.
Okay. No, that's awesome. Thank you.
Cost $17
Oh,
to-
man.
to mail a little box. I mean, it
It's
was
crazy. Do you want me to send you some more?
sure you could send the $17.
All right, you got it. I will send it to you. Not a problem. Not a problem.
Hey, Len,
Yes.
I noticed in Facebook that your wife, who I fell in love with at the World Championships,
Right.
I'm now asking for a divorce.
Oh my goodness.
Well, she had me slated to be a witch.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean,
How come I never hear about any of this stuff? I'm out of the loop.
I guess she's drinking again or something.
I have to find out about this. Hey Naomi, you been drinking again? Mark Weiss wants to know.
I'll tell you, I know a lot of you. Some of you are at the Worlds,
Right.
and it's always for me. I'm always surprised at something at an event that I really hadn't thought about much. And it turns out to be maybe the highlight. And at the Worlds, you know, all of us do a lot of walking if you're a volunteer. You know, Steve and Mark Hughes, that was their job, for God's sakes. They were always motoring back and forth. And I had, you know, sometimes I just walk out and catch what people are doing. Sometimes I had to get people to sign things and all that. But it was the meeting of people I knew, who I don't see often. Like I've seen Len at Brodak, but that was some years ago. And to see him and Naomi there, and then to talk to the teams, you know, get some photos taken, and
What's that?
I think that's the highlight. I mean,
Well, you're gonna have to come and talk to him.
uh-oh.
The boss is coming.
Here he goes.
You in trouble now, Captain.
Oh,
Is this like some weird way of getting me to come on Stunt Hangar?
hey,
Nothing weird about it, Naomi.
hey, Witch Hazel.
So
Why-
what did I do that I'm being asked if I'm drinking again?
I just want to know why you put me as a witch on Facebook.
That wasn't me. That was Facebook.
Facebook put me as a witch.
Yeah, because like if you read the thing, it's supposed to be some kind of weird thing where you just put in like the first letter of whatever it is and then see whose name comes up, and your name came up.
Well, I'm the president of a multinational organization.
So I can't call you a witch?
Now he's going to throw his weight around.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, that's why your name came up though.
Well,
And also because you're on my friend list.
I still love
So
you.
it picks from your friend list.
We're gonna have to do a prenup now.
Well, I hate to tell you this, but I've told Len a long time ago that we don't have a prenup, we have a postnup, and it's not in writing, and it's subject to change at any given moment at my discretion only.
I knew that was coming.
So he can't, he literally cannot win.
Hey Naomi,
Ever.
let me ask you a question since you and I are yakking. What did you enjoy the most about being at the Worlds?
If I do say something wrong, I'm
Hanging out with Mark. I'm hanging out with you. That was the best part.
Boy, that's sad.
I know, isn't it? No, it was funny. It was fun. I honestly, I enjoyed like getting to meet some of the other people from like the other countries, and everybody that I talked to was very, very friendly, and like even though there was language barriers, like everybody was trying to talk in English as much as they could, which was good for me because I can't speak anything else. So I felt I would just say to them, look, your English is way better than my Mongolian or whatever, like because I don't speak a word. So
Yeah, it was pretty special.
yeah,
It
it
was
was
special.
amazing.
Yeah. Hey guys, I don't want to dominate this. Someone else yak.
Sparky, what are you doing?
Sorting wood.
Yeah, but you disappeared there for a few minutes. You weren't on my screen. I said, well, what's he doing there? It must be, you going to weigh that or has it already been weighed?
Some of it's been weighed. Some I'm gonna first time I separated it by width. So this is all a 4-inch over here. This is all a 3-inch. Now I'm separating it by thickness, and then I'll separate it by weight.
Tell you what, that's pretty slick. That's pretty slick.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is just a little bit of my wood. I mean, very little.
I've got a lot of wood, but you've got a lot more than I do.
And it's time to reorder.
Well, you find anybody that'll send you some wood that's worth a doggone, and I'll order a bunch too.
Yeah, well, me first.
Have you guys renewed your AMA memberships?
Oh yeah,
Mine's not due till March.
Yeah.
I renew every year at in Georgia at the show down there. Well, I have the last few years anyway.
Are they going to do a 2-year deal again?
I don't know the answer to that, Sparky.
They did this time because I took it.
Hey, how about our interim, what is it?
Executive director?
Executive director there. And so,
Who's that?
oh geez, I know him. How can I forget? Because he helped me a lot with the expo.
Oh, you talking about used to fly patterns? Oh Lord,
I can't think of his name.
that thing is.
Oh, holy smokes.
Um,
As soon as we say it, it'd be, oh geez.
yeah,
Don't know anybody, holy smokes.
Tyler,
Yeah. I mean,
is
I
it
read about him for
Tyler?
No, I read about him for 30 years and finally got Mark Radcliffe. That's who I'm thinking of.
Oh, no. This is back at headquarters.
Oh, the guy with the trailer.
He was doing all the government affairs stuff.
Yeah.
Wasting all the money?
I hope not.
That's where all the money's going, to government affairs, and it's a waste of money.
Tyler Dobbs.
There you go.
Dobbs.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Boudreaux stepping down. Yeah.
Boudreaux stepping down. How about that?
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, that's a lot of work for not a lot of money, and they really the day I spent in the office up there just trying to get some stuff straightened out and found those guys work. They earn what little they make, but they're not getting paid that much.
No, it's all really going to lobbyists.
So it's a labor of love. Well, they got to lobby somebody so that NASA will let us keep flying these things.
It doesn't do any good.
Yeah,
they've taken the side of the drones.
Yeah.
No, they were taking the side of the drone.
Yeah.
But not anymore.
Well, I'll tell you what, the drones have about taken over Hobby Park on Sundays. I don't even go out there anymore on Sunday. Saturdays I go, and there's one guy with a drone that comes right through the circle, just about head high. I ducked. I'm flying a pattern, and I ducked, and the guy comes over and cuts me out because you nearly hit my drone. I just laughed at him. I said, "Fella, if my control liner hits your drone, you're the one in trouble, not me. I'm tethered. You're not." And he wanted to raise sand and had a couple of guys there that were pretty knowledgeable. And one of the RC guys come walking over to him and tapped him on the shoulder and says, "He's right. You're wrong. Get over it and get back over here." So we don't need to cause trouble with those guys. So
give them a look.
I think you're going to see a lot of very tight regulation on drones.
Hope so.
Well, I hope so. Something needs to happen.
Well, the military has got, they're so sophisticated that some of these things, they just can't get into the hands of civilians. You know?
My daughter's got one that can fly out. You can give it a coordinate. It can fly out 3 miles, take a picture. I'll shut up. At 400 feet and come back and land within 4 inches of where it took off from.
Yep.
Is he licensed?
Yeah, it shouldn't be able to go up beyond the line.
Yeah, because it's line of sight unless you, what is it, Part 107?
Well, you got to have Part 107 and a BLVOS exemption.
I don't know what all she's got. I know she's been to the classes, but that's all I know.
Yeah.
But she uses it used it. She doesn't do it anymore. She used it to go up and look at roofs on houses so she didn't have to crawl on them. Said some of those roofs after a fire or something, said she wasn't going to get up there and crawl on those roofs. So she'd take the drone up and take pictures of it, which was always required. Go up, take pictures of the roof. So she'd take her drone and go up and take the pictures and come back and land it.
Yeah.
but the drone will go a mile out and take a picture and come back. And it'll evade trees and birds and power lines and whatever else and come back. It's an amazing little machine. But she had to have a license and all kinds of crap to operate it. But, you know, I don't know.
Well, that and also the photo of a drone with the picture of the, I don't know if it was true, of the airliner below it. So,
Oh, no, that's ridiculous. No, this has got a 400-foot limit.
yeah. So, you know, what Mark was saying and I'm saying is when you look at what's happening military wise, they have to have a control of it. And it's
Yeah.
a shame that we couldn't, we had to get locked in with that type of perception and stuff. So
Yeah.
it's a
Mhm.
battle we're fighting. And
Well, have you seen the video of the 6-engine drone and it's pulling a skier? I'm not kidding. It's pulling a skier through a slalom course. Back and forth, and then turns around and brings him back to the dock, and he just comes up and steps off on the, well, it's not the dock, he steps off on the dirt, but it's a darn drone pulling him. It's not a boat, it's a drone. And the kid on the end of the dock is running it with a radio outfit. I said, that's too much. But they're getting really, really complicated now. And some of the stuff that everybody thinks is phony on these TV shows with drones that go out, fire a gun and shoot somebody or something. Oh, they're not big enough to do that. Oh yeah, they are. I've seen some stuff on the military base that will blow you. I mean, it'll curl your hair. They've got some stuff that, well, I was telling you years ago about they had an airplane that when it went across the sky, it sounded like the Zipper SR-72. It's, don't tell me this stuff ain't real, because I've seen some of it. But anyway, there's some wild stuff out there now.
Yeah.
They better have some control over it, because it is some wicked stuff. It gets in the wrong hands. Whew.
oh, I just noticed Mark Gerber's there. Hey,
Oh,
Mark.
yeah.
Mark Gerber's here? I didn't see him.
Yeah.
He's here.
You
Well,
got
good to
something
see
to
you, Mark.
share, Mark?
Oh, not much. I'm getting ready to go to Las Vegas.
Is it all glued
Oh,
back
cool.
together, the P40?
No, it's went out in the trash this morning.
Oh no, the P40
That's how
wouldn't
I
run?
fix them most of the time.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I got something to show you here, Ed. See that?
Oh, that's a Bearcat, a real one.
See how they
Yeah.
polish the exhaust?
I thought you were going to
Yeah.
show us a dent from a drone.
I was in a parking lot the other day. The stylists have gotten a hold of this.
Yeah.
Eh.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a Kia Stinger, 2022 model.
Yeah.
Same looking exhaust as a Bearcat's
Yeah.
got. And I've been getting ready to go to Vegas. I'm leaving Wednesday morning.
Where did you
Sorry.
see that Bearcat? That looked like 201.
I got it off the web somewhere. I did a
Oh, okay.
quick search and a walk around, and I'd seen several of them with that polished exhaust. The military ones don't have this polished, but
Oh no.
No,
some of their
they don't worry about
store ones
that.
no.
That's sharp.
And I glued my
I'm sorry.
my vertical stabilizer onto the Bearcat today, so that's where I'm going to leave it till I get back from Vegas, and then I can do the shells, and I'll be getting ready to button up the fuselage. So
Cool deal. Well, I'm sorry to hear you lost your 40. That's a shame.
yeah. Like I
What
said,
happened? Break the line or something?
hazard of the sport. No, I
Yeah.
went up, I did a wing over and I left my baseball hat on. I can't bend my head back very far anymore.
Oh, I know that
With
feeling.
my bounce, I fall over. So
it became a wing under.
yeah, I was looking for it to come down to my left, and it came down in front of me, headed the other way, straight down.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
Before I could do anything, straight in. So
That hurts. That was a beautiful airplane. Any of you didn't see it, it was a really
Well,
sharp plane.
it was 10 years old. It was starting to show signs, quite a few signs of wear, but
Well,
It's a good flyer.
Yeah. Mine shows signs of wear too, but oldie but a goodie still hurts to lose it.
Did it hurt the engine?
No, I don't think so. It was on this brass flying surface here, which is a sod farm that I discovered. Jack Pitcher actually put me onto it.
Yeah.
So this is a sod that the farmer grows, and he keeps it cut really short, and it's almost like a golf course. It's really nice. But it came down right over here, and I made a nice dent in the sod.
Go out there
So
and fix
I
your
went, I went and repaired my ball mark so he wouldn't see it.
Yeah, you got your golf little pick thing, and,
keep a bag of
and use that.
sand and grass seed to put in
I
there.
used a screwdriver instead. I didn't have my golf tool along anyway, but I just used a screwdriver to help cover it up. So,
Oh, that hurts. We don't, the only sod fields I know about are an hour and a half away, but that they are, every time I see one, I think, boy, that'd be a nice place to fly.
yeah, there's a whole bunch of radio control guys flying this farmer's property. It's about a mile square. And that's how Jack Pitcher found it. He was flying some radio control gliders, and the guys invited him over there to fly. And then he saw some guy flying a control line plane over on the other side and went over and introduced himself to him. And it turned out this guy, a longtime control line flyer, knows the side farm owner. And so it worked out pretty good. So Jack took me over there the other day, and it's about a 20-mile drive. So it's not close, but since I got chased out of the city park, the only place I can really fly now is the schools, but the schools are busy during the week. So
Can't go there.
Yeah.
Well, and I see they can't use the excuse of it being dangerous, considering people get hurt no matter what. You go to watch a ball game there where I go, and you're not paying attention, get hit with a fly ball or something like that. So it's just some people in the wrong position trying to tell you what to do.
well, I've had a couple of close calls with people literally walking right through the circle. They seem totally oblivious to the hazard. That's a little scary.
I remember, I think it was 2 years ago, Ed.
Yeah.
When I had a young man on the handle, and his dad was there with him, and his dad was tall.
And a doctor.
Right, the doctor. So we get the plane up in the air. I mean, I don't think we've done one lap. And the father just starts walking out of the circle. Complete disregard for the airplane.
Yep.
It was amazing.
Mark pulled up at the right time.
Yeah.
Days.
Just
But
because
you
you're a
would
doctor
think-
don't mean you got brains.
Yeah, I want to make sure he's not on. I don't use him.
It was strange.
But that happened to me RC flying at an old airport and stuff. Here I am flying around and people are just walking up and down the runway and that. So it's like, all right, that's it for this place.
Yeah. Well, I'll if you don't repeat this, I'll tell you an interesting story about a flying field. Tom Smelter for years leased what used to be a full-scale airstrip for private airplanes. And the gentleman who flew it, I don't remember the whole story. I remember there was a crash or something. But anyway, they stopped using it, and Tom took care of it for RC. And just did an incredible job keeping the grass just perfect. And then right after all of us went to Brodeck, we all stopped flying RC and started flying control line. And I remember Tom and I and Bruce sometimes would go out for lunch or something, and it was the winter, and we weren't flying, but we just got together as friends and had lunch, and everyone goes their own way. I'm about an hour and a quarter from home, and as I'm leaving Tom's Field, I just had that, uh-oh, something I ate is just shooting through me like a turbine.
Mhm.
I have no choices. So I turn the car around and go back down to where the circles are and go into the woods. Now it's cold and windy, and I didn't have a choice. I just pulled down everything from the waist down as quick as I could, and got most of it onto the ground with a little bit onto the back of my pants.
Oh,
Oh,
So now I'm standing there, and what do you do? So I ended up, I had a jacket and I had something else. So I started taking my clothes off. And as I'm taking my clothes off, I hear this rumbling noise. At first I thought it was
oh
like a
no.
141 flying over or something. So I'm standing there just kind of naked, maybe 20 feet inside the wood line, and it's freezing. And here comes a combine. Okay.
Oh,
And
Oh
the guy
Lord.
is just looking at me and, with his head up and down, and I'm standing there like this. And he went on. So it must have been like a couple of days later, I get a call from Tom. And he said, what was that food you ate, when we were together? I said, didn't settle real well with me. He said, I understand that. I said, well, what would you know about it? He said, the farmer called me. I said, Tom, is an old guy naked in your woods.
Oh,
So
oh my.
I hope that's the last time. But I'll tell you, it was gold. It was gold. But
Yeah,
sometimes you don't have a choice.
yeah,
Yeah.
this is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's why we call y'all Nanook a frozen north.
That's it.
It's too darn cold up there.
That's why I
That's why
can't
I live.
visit. Yeah.
That's why I live in the South. I just
Yeah.
cannot function in that cold. Mm.
Well, let me tell you, I lived in Pakistan for a year and a half, and oh boy.
That's
What's the
hot.
weather? What's it like there?
Um, well, I got there 2 weeks before the coup, where they kicked out Bhutto, and Zia took over. It was hot in the summertime. Um, you can really get a heck of a sun tan. It seems like the sun hits that area differently as far as the angle of the sun goes and stuff. But all kinds of problems. We had to soak our vegetables in iodine. We had to boil water and filter it and stuff. And
Wow.
yeah, it was tough. And yeah, I found out what dysentery was, and amoeba dysentery and giardia
Ed,
and
is this
stuff.
is this why the FAA keeps an eye on you and your drone use now?
Well, no drones here. And that,
Gracious.
You're not allowed
but
to.
I did a lot of boar hunting there, and so we had pork, so it was tough, and that, I survived it and stuff. But I was in and out of Tehran just before it fell and stuff. We were holding stuff back and forth from Pakistan to Tehran, and that pretty pretty interesting area. Of course, Zia took over the coup, and a year later, I'm at the ambassador's house with the new president there, Zia, and of course, he didn't last very long. I think they
No.
shot his C-130 down with #3 guy at the embassy at the time that I knew and stuff. So, but yeah.
Lordy.
Yeah, interesting, that part of the world.
Scary is my word for it.
Yeah, what's kind of interesting back then, we didn't have ox tanks in the King Air, and so when we go to Tehran, we would if we would either have to try to fly straight across Kandahar, Afghanistan into Tehran, and all you do is you point the nose at a magnetic heading and hope that you hear something when you get about 150 miles out. But our other option was going down to Zayadan, which is where if you look at southern Pakistan, Iran, and Pakistan and southern Afghanistan is a place called Zayadan, and that would be a fuel stop and stuff. So, you know, once again, you just point the nose, you listen for the HF radio. It was kind of funny, interesting. We had trouble getting fuel, and you know, we're at 29,000 feet. We can see Zayadan up ahead. We start our descent. They have probably about a half an hour notice that we need fuel, and had trouble getting fuel. And so finally, after a couple of trips, and they had me go on the flights because they didn't want to break. It's something I could fix. Well, we found out if you take Playboy magazines and you let them know you're inbound, my golly, we were in and out in 20 minutes.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, and then also we would if we went into Saudi, and don't repeat this, but it's we didn't have ox tanks in the center section, so we would fill those up with beer. We'd wrap up the beer, take the center panels off, put the beer in there, and lock it back down.
Mhm.
And stuff. But yeah, interesting. Something that I did in the late 70s and that. So it was a tough time. And, you know, once again, though, I do want to say, no matter, I've lived in 9 countries before moving back to the States. And no matter where I've been, there's been really good people at every country, and a lot that are you don't want anything to do with, and you know, and that's whether you're in the States or any of those countries and stuff. I mean, our helper in Pakistan was Ali. Was like, "Sir, you need to take my son back with you." It's like he's 16 years old. It's like, Ali, I don't know if I could do that, but yeah, you know, Tehran. We'd fly into Tehran, and the guys would we called it armpit bread. They had great bread there, and they called it armpit bread because you take your motorcycle and throw the bread up underneath your arm on the way to the airport, and when you got there, you had fresh baked bread with butter for breakfast.
That's bad. Oh, yeah. Gracious.
I see caffeine's on here.
Hi.
Selamat pagi.
Pagi. Yeah, how you guys doing?
Doing great.
Doing great, man.
Well, I haven't done anything related to building or nor flying because I got pretty busy on the weekends to take my son out with my wife. So yeah, I'm just here to listen to you guys. Not much I can share at this moment.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, caffeine. Sometimes life gets in there.
Yeah.
Well, you haven't missed anything of value.
Yeah.
Yeah, there I was at 29,000 feet.
Oh, I tell you.
Wow. Yeah. Hey, Len, are you have a winter project?
You're muted.
Mark, I have too many winter projects. Where do you want to start?
Shovel and snow.
Oh my God.
You have any show and tell?
Let me think. Do I have any show and tell? Not really. Not anything you guys haven't seen before. I mean, I've been working on Strega lately, trying to get it kind of wrapped up. I'm at the point now where I'm sanding and doping the fuselage and should be getting the color in a couple of days.
Oh, nice.
Then I've been
Okay.
meaning to ask you about that. How far did you cut back into the wing and then blunt the nose? You remember?
I don't remember. It was quite a while ago. I think I cut back. Basically, I took the whole leading edge out, and then what I did is I put a flat leading edge on it, like quarter
Yeah,
inch
that's what I'm
flat
gonna do.
stock, and then just rounded it off to the sheeting.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna try. I cut back just far enough where it looked like it came to a point. Now it's
Yeah, you
it's
don't want
blunt.
that. You don't want that pointy leading edge. And I also
Yeah.
took half the ribs out of it too. Half the ribs
I,
out of the wing.
well, I didn't do that, but I cut a lot of the wood out of
You'll
the ribs.
you'll want to. I'll tell you because
Oh
mine's
well,
it's a flying boat. I mean, you want to talk about lumber wagon. I mean, we're talking hardwood. This thing, it's unbelievable. It's going to need
yeah.
every ounce of that Roadjet 76 to pull this thing properly. But we'll see.
Mine's
I'll give it a
mine's
try.
not very.
I'll give it a try and then probably find somebody to take it because I don't think it's going to perform very well. But we'll see. I'm not going to judge it yet. We'll give it
I'm
a
not.
go.
I'm not. Mine turned out to be fairly light, but I cut about half of every other rib. I mean, they're
Me-
pretty well gutted anyway, but I gutted about half of what was left out
Yeah.
of every other rib because they're
Okay.
every inch and a half.
Yeah.
And I said,
Yeah,
nah,
every inch and
that's
a half is ridiculous. So I've got them
oh, it
now,
is.
so they're about every 3 inches. And
Yeah.
it still seems to be plenty strong enough. Like, I mean, it's a
Oh,
tough
I
wing.
think it is. I'm sure it is.
But see,
But
I
I
also
gutted.
have a Strega kit downstairs. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try this thing this summer coming. I'll fly it. If it doesn't work, I'll pass it on and then I'll build the kit
Yeah.
and build it
I'm building this
to
one.
my specs instead of what the ARF has.
I'm
The
building
other thing
mine
I
that's
wanted to
got
ask you about
a
something,
Turbo
Phil.
Raven. Hmm?
What can you tell me about the Fox 59?
What do you
I've
want to
got
know?
one coming. I've got one coming.
But I had always run mine on Fox Fuel 5% and all caster, 29% caster.
29%. Okay.
But Charlie Reeves has got me flying the thing now on it's he runs his on 5 and 10 depending on heat. If it's
Okay.
hot, you put it on 10. If it's cool,
Okay.
you put it
Put
on
it on
5.
5.
But
Okay, it makes sense.
1111, 22% oil, 1111.
Oh, really? It works
It
okay
no
on that?
longer lands and sounds like bacon frying.
Okay.
Runs a lot cooler.
Okay.
Runs better, and it doesn't kill plugs so bad.
Beautiful. Good news.
So yeah, so it's
1111's a lot easier. Like we use a lot more 1111 here than we do Fox fuel, so that's good.
Yeah, the Fox
I will-
fuel decent caster is getting hard to get.
Yeah.
I've still got 1 gallon of stuff I got from Pathfinder years ago,
Okay.
but I don't want to burn it up. But I'm now playing with 5% 1111. I'm going to take the plane out and fly it again in the next few weeks because it's just I retired it about 10 years ago, but it just flies so darn well. I love to fly it. Just to go out and fly for fun.
Well,
It's just a fun.
I'm
Go
going to
ahead.
put mine. I'm going to build a humongous for mine.
Now, that'd be a good plane for it. I put a Tiger 6. I'm putting it's painted. I'm painting it now, but
Okay.
I put a Super Tiger 60 in mine.
Okay.
And everybody says that's too much power, but I tell you what, I've flown a lot of them. I've seen a lot of them. The best one I've ever seen was Roy Trantham's, and it had a 60 light in it, a double star 60 light in it, which is the one that Keith Troster likes so much.
Yeah.
And really a little powerhouse, but golly, the thing was light. Oh man, those motors are light. But I don't have one of those. I've got a 54.
I actually do have a 60 light, but I'm saving it for a Spitfire because it's really noisy.
Yeah.
I find those double star 60 or the double star 60 light is a very loud motor. I don't know why, but it is.
Are you talking about is your 60 light the one that's a rear exhaust?
No, from side exhaust.
It's got a gold head on it?
No.
Okay, you got the one. I know the one you've got. That's okay. That is the light. You're right. That's the light, and he had the ultra light. He had a 50. He had a 54 that's punched out to a 60.
Okay.
That don't sound like a lot, but anyway, it's lighter and they're extraordinary motors, but you have to. Roy was careful who he gave those to because you had to know, you had to be experienced enough to get all the lugs tightened down equal, or you could warp the case and mess them up. So I don't think there was that many of them. I only know where one is left, and it's not mine. I don't have it. But I was supposed to get, Tommy was going to get a couple of them. I was going to get a couple of them, but unfortunately, Roy, cancer got him so quickly that we just didn't, we never got them. And he and Tom were really good, really tight. But when Roy went, he just really went quick, thankfully, because he was a great guy. He didn't deserve that. But anyway, they are loud motors. My rear exhaust, even with that full size can muffler on there, I think it's very loud. The way you quieten it down is you put a 3-blade prop on there with a lot of pitch and drag it down, because if you let it wind, man, it makes a racket.
Well, the reason I bought that Fox 59 is I was out the other day flying my Nobler here, and my buddy Brad was launching for me, and he says, that's got to be the loudest Fox I have ever heard. He says, the only thing that'd be louder than that is a Fox 59. And I said, well, gee, I might just have to have me one of those.
Did you ever meet Rusty? Oh gosh, what was his name? I can't think of his last name. Flew the guided whistle a lot, but he flew a couple of airplanes, a couple of great big 60 size airplanes from the 40s and 50s, or 50s. I guess it's 50s. But anyway, one of them had a 59 on it, and it did not have a muffler on it.
How about Rusty Brown?
Rusty Brown, there you go.
Okay.
He came to Golden Oldies, East Coast Golden Oldies at Tifton, Georgia. And he comes up and he says, hey, Phil, you fly 59, don't you? I said, yeah. He said, come on, launch mine for me.
Oh,
and Tommy and everybody.
No earplugs, right? Yeah, I know where this is going.
Oh God, I didn't have my earplugs with me. And I went out to launch that thing, and I looked down, and just as he's getting ready to hook the battery up, I realized, Rusty, where the heck's your muffler? What muffler? You don't need no stinking muffler. Oh my God. Rusty did not run to the handle, guys. He kind of sauntered to the handle.
Yeah, it was killing you.
And all this time you're sitting here holding this thing that is making more noise than a AA fuel dragster. And without a muffler, it pops and crackles so hard that your ears are just feel like they're going to bleed any second.
Unbelievable.
But I launched it for him.
So what kind of muffler do you use on one of those? A tongue muffler or a tube muffler?
I used it. I've got one with a tongue, and I've got one with a big arc muffler.
Okay.
But one of them's an Adam Essen muffler, and the other one, is a tongue. And George Aldrich built those two motors. But I'm gonna tell you what. When I let that thing go for Rusty, I didn't get up. I rolled out of the way and got up holding my ears and walked back to the pits. I said, somebody else going to have to bring him in. My ears hurt. My word. The next time Rusty went to fly, I went that way.
Yeah, you were hiding.
You darn right. I'm crazy, but I ain't stupid. I do learn. It only takes one time.
Keith Throssell has an extra set of ear protectors. And when he asks you to launch his Madman, he hands you the ear protectors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that.
Which I really appreciate, because that's a loud motor too.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. I tell you what, Keith is a class act from start to finish, though. I mean, Rusty would just do things like that just to get your goat. Keith is just a class act. He takes care of you. But y'all hang on just a minute. I just saw something I forgot about, and I'll get it and show it to you. Oh,
Stuart, where you been?
Playing hockey.
Yeah, we haven't seen you.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, after the Nats there, I kind of wanted to back off somewhat. I had got so many things to do, and I'm slowly now catching up.
Okay. Yeah, because we really haven't seen you hardly at all since the Nats.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Let me
catching
know
up.
what, let me know when you want to take a look at that Pathfinder.
Yeah.
Pitching.
I mean, I was just busy the last little while there when you were calling. It was
see.
just
Yeah, it
bad
shows.
timing.
Yeah, well, that's all right. That's not in a hurry anyhow, because
Okay. All right.
got other stuff on the go. So
Do what you gotta do. I get it. We all have life. It's life gets in the way things. I get it.
yeah.
Gary, this is what my stunt wagon looks like. Well, all of you, but
Cool.
that's
Hold on.
many years ago when I was about 20 pounds lighter. But anyway, that's my stunt wagon about 10 years ago.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, it flew. It flies great, but
Hold it back up there.
You were good looking then.
well, back then, at one time, you know.
Mark.
Yeah, there we go. I get it on where you can see it.
That's
Yeah,
nice.
it's a good looking airplane, and that's the one that Bob Hunt saw it at the Nats. I was flying it, and he and Bill Worwich were walking by, and he hollered at me, "Philip, you're soaking us." Well, there's only one fluid in the darn thing, so I got it back. I was upside down. I put it back on its top. About that time the engine quit, so I almost lost that airplane. And the tank had split, and nobody at Nationals had a dadgum soldering iron that was hot enough to put that thing back together. So I had to fly my super duper zilch that year. I was in the top 20, but that was all. I thought that was going to be my year.
Interesting on the short tail compared to now.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that not much space.
No,
And
Yeah.
no, they're quick, short coupled, very quick little airplanes, but so much fun to fly. And I just always loved it. I don't know. I loved those planes 50 years ago, and I finally got a chance to build that one. Charlie Reeves talked me into building it, and I built it, and I kept wondering, how come I can never beat Charlie? And I looked at Charlie's one time, looked at it real close, and Charlie's airplanes, that was a nice airplane. Charlie had a really nice airplane. I mean, that thing was really nice. But he had a long shaft 59 in it. And what people don't know is Charlie had a bunch of Fox 59 long shafts because they kept snapping. The crankshafts keep snapping. I don't know. Charlie is, I'm sorry, I keep saying was, and I don't mean to do that. Charlie is a very patient man because those motors, man, that thing he'd get out there and start that thing. It's a rear induction motor, and he'd have to drop fuel down in the back of it and get that thing to start. If you get it too rich, it'd lock up and bust a crank. Man, no, that's just too much. But I don't know. We had a lot of fun with those things. For about 10 years, Tom Looper and I, all we flew was old time. Neither one of us even had a modern airplane. And finally went back to flying a little bit of everything. But for a long time, that old times is all we flew, either one of us. And then we got Buddy Barbie to come back and start flying with us again. He flew with us 30 years ago and then was gone for about 15 years, maybe longer than that. And Terry McDowell came and flew with us. And he flew with us till he passed. And I don't know. We've had a good time. But Tommy and I have flown together. I've been married 49 years. Tommy and I have been flying together 48 and a half. So it's been a fun ride. Had a lot of fun.
Speaking of 49, I've flown the last 49 days in a row. Tomorrow will be
Good
50.
Lord.
wow.
Good Lord.
Tomorrow will be my 50th day of flying in a row.
Good gracious.
Wow.
Even some days I have to go out just out back and fly a half A, but I fly a model airplane every single day. I'm going to try and do it for a whole year.
Keep it up. You'll be able to beat me at Brodax.
What do you mean? I beat you at the Nats. I don't need to beat you at Brodax.
Oh,
Ouch.
Oh, that hurt. All right.
I didn't fly against you, did I? I don't think so.
Well, actually, you beat me in N30, but then I beat you in Big Stunt.
Okay. Well, I'm going to turn the meeting over to
What
Steve,
just came on?
the real Steve Smith here. Let me click out of this. I appreciate you guys watching on YouTube. We have this meeting between every Monday and Friday at 7 Central, which is 8 Eastern and I don't know, 5 o'clock Pacific. Anyway, let's see here. I'll go here. And okay, there we go. So make sure to like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see you next Friday. Fair winds, tight lines. See ya.
You head note, Sparky?
Oh yeah, I'm done.
Well, I got a
Okay.
question for you. How does that